Hello and welcome to another episode of the Topcinco Pod. Topcinco Pod. Topcinco.
What are you doing? I'm at the local, bro.
Yeah, so I won't say anything about that. But now the cops.
I'm back. Topcinco is back. And Jimmy's back. Welcome to another episode of the Topcinco Pod. I know it's been a minute, and like I said, we are back and returning Jimmy. Jimmy, it's a special day for you today, mate. So I just wanted to give you a big birthday shout out. Happy birthday, and thank you very much for joining. Welcome back again.
No, mate,
what are you saying,
good.
Bro?
Good, mate, good. But I think this is one of my favourite birthdays for sure. I felt very loved today. So yeah, no, good. I used to get super bummed out on my birthdays. Maybe because I wasn't at that point doing enough with my life, and I don't have that feeling as much anymore. I don't have that feeling as much anymore, so it's more just nice instead of like, oh fuck, time's running out.
And obviously, what's the time over there for obviously those that are watching now?
2 p.m. UK time. It's 9 p.m. in the UK right now. Am I right? It's just evening.
Yeah. Just after 9 to be fair. So
yeah, 2 p.m. in the afternoon. So
and
yeah, still got the full day.
You're joining us on your birthday.
I know, right?
That's love. I
Anything
appreciate it, mate.
Anything for you, mate.
Big love. Well, I'm going to turn that joy quickly into misery right now because we're going to talk about your boys United. I'm sorry, I have to do it because we're catching up, and you guys are the main talking point for a lot of people, a lot of journalists, a lot of those fans around the country right now and the world. If I'm being completely honest, it's mental. You got Bournemouth next. That's your next fixture. How important is that game to you, or do you think now you're definitely staying up? It's full focus basically on the Europa.
Yeah, it doesn't. The league doesn't matter at all. So yeah, I don't give a shit about it. It doesn't whether we finish 14th or 16th, whatever. It's pretty arbitrary. Who cares? It's not gonna. No one's gonna. All anyone's gonna remember from this season is that it was terrible. It was awful. So that's literally all anyone's gonna.
Dire for you, mate. Pony.
But like I said, if we finish like 15th and get Champions League football, that is fucking hilarious. That is so us. That is so us. Like it's great. And I can generally see. I think either us or Tottenham will win it, and that's just hilarious with how shit the fucking seasons have been.
Terrible.
Like worst seasons for both of us. Like in God knows how long. United ever in the Premier League era at least, and Tottenham I would probably imagine something similar. So yeah, no, crazy funny. That's really, really funny.
Obviously, we've spoken about Spurs a lot on the pods across this season, and they're another one that have just been absolutely terrible. Like we won't go into them too much on this one because we've got quite a lot that we're kind of going to get through. But yeah, you're saying Premier League, okay, you know what it is. I'm not even bothered about damage limitations, and they were staying up. Full focus on the Europa.
Can you stop saying like we're staying up as if like we're fucking, I don't know, Everton or something? Okay, you keep saying it like no United fan is saying, oh well, we're up now. At least we're safe. Like no one is saying.
No, but you're 14th though, man. Come on. Like if it wasn't for Ipswich, Leicester, and Southampton this season, it could be real difficult and peak for you.
Yeah, look, I know Arsenal fans like to do the what if stuff. They'd be like, oh well, what if City weren't as good, we would have won the league, or if Liverpool weren't as good, we would have won the league. You can do that with anything.
I'm talking about now though.
Well, yeah, it's the same logic, but if let's you haven't done an episode since the Lyon game, right?
No, we haven't actually.
That's what we should have been talking about, mate. Is that not one of the greatest games of football you've ever seen in your life?
Well, to be fair, yeah, we can touch on that real quick as well because that
was when I say greatest games, I don't mean from a standard perspective. I mean just in terms of the drama.
The
drama
drama was
was
crazy.
the drama
And
was
as a
insane.
United fan,
Yeah,
you must have been absolutely like, as I think anyone that understands and watches football, when you see those kind of games, there's certain moments in football, and you're just like, oh, rah, that's kind of mad, you know. You're just like, you know what, fair play, fair play.
yeah,
You just
yeah.
feel it. It's football. It's just something. But that moment when he's done that, who was it that got the winner for you, young boy?
Maguire.
Oh, was it Maguire that got the winner? Oh, Kobe's goal then. I loved Kobe's goal as well, mate.
Kobe's goal was amazing. Yeah,
He took that well. Hey, listen, he's a player as well, man. I really
he
like
is.
him.
We've got Bilbao in the semi.
Yeah, you've got Bilbao. My bad.
And do I think we'll beat them? No, but I don't think we'll beat anybody at the moment. But you just fucking hope for the
Okay,
best.
so the first leg is literally away
Yeah,
to Bilbao. First of May. I remember when you played Bilbao in I don't know which European competition it was, but it was when Ander Herrera was there,
yeah,
and you guys got absolutely killed,
yeah,
possession wise, bopped off the park.
yeah.
Do you think it's going to be another one of them? Are people going to see how good Athletic, if they don't already know, are they going to see how good they really are? And are Man United going to be humiliated, do you reckon?
So I think there's a good chance of that. Yeah, they are a good team. I do actually think that team. I remember exactly the game you were talking about from
Yeah,
all those years ago, and I do think that team was a little bit better than this current one. But that doesn't mean this current one isn't good. I
yeah,
just think that one was a particularly good Bilbao. I don't think they're not beatable for sure. And that's the thing when United have shown it. We've shown it against weirdly against like much the better teams of the
yeah,
Premier League that when we fancy it, we can play, we can do well. So I think definitely if we can come out of Bilbao with either a draw or even like a 1-0 loss or something like that. I
okay,
think it's game on at Old Trafford.
miracle.
You sort of saw that. You saw it was just it wasn't like the Lyon game. It wasn't the prettiest. It wasn't like a scrappy, ugly football either. But it was just I don't know. There's just something about it. Obviously, when you can just sort of feel it. You could just feel it in the air.
Yeah,
It was funny even to the point of I was on my way to work watching that game and
yeah,
I when we went 2-0 up, like I say, just having feelings, I had a feeling Lyon were going to score, and then that coincided. I was like, well, if they score one, I think they're going to level this game. I think they'll score twice.
yeah,
So I kind of really saw everything happening, and then when it went to extra time, when they scored the first one again, I had it in mind. I was like, I feel like they'll score again, which
you
they
had the
did
faith.
to make it 4-2. Then, to be
Yeah,
fair, I did think the game was over at that point. I've never seen any team come back like 4-2 down in extra time, and especially a United team that's as poor as this
yeah.
one.
You were at
Um,
home. It's Old Trafford, man.
at home as well. So yeah, but then funny when Bruno scored the penalty, that shifted again. I was like, I'm pretty sure we're going to get another one. And then even when we scored the fourth, when Kobe scored the fourth, I was like, I've got a feeling this isn't going to go to penalties. And then
Mm.
yeah, a minute later, like, but that's not me going, I'm some psycho. I think so many United fans have grown up. It's United fans have grown up with that thing of
That thing, yeah.
like there's something in the air here. Something's happening, and I think
You
not
just
just
know
United
it, man.
fans,
Man United fans,
football
you feel
fans
it
in
usually,
general.
don't
Football
you?
fans can just sort of sense it. You can sense when something's in the air. It's same as
Yeah.
when Barcelona did their comeback all those years ago. When Liverpool did their comeback, they just felt like
Yeah.
it was going to
Iconic
happen. Like
comebacks. Iconic ones. And you
yeah,
could just
but
tell
you
the way the
felt
game's
like it was going to
swinging.
happen as
The
it was
flow of the
happening. If you
game
know
and
what I
all
mean.
of that as well.
Yeah, yeah. It didn't. It just you kind of just knew. Yeah, it was weird. You just kind of knew it was going to happen.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
so yeah. Anyway,
But
that's enough on
you
that. So
just feel
yeah,
it.
I don't
You just
care.
feel
What, lose every Premier League game now. Who gives a shit? And let's just go for the Europa
it.
League.
Fair. Okay. We're going to go on to the next point. So that's going to be the weekend's football, and it's FA Cup semi-final weekend. So a big day out for kind of all of the fans, for the teams that are involved. Let's speak about the one that's going to be on Saturday first, which is the Palace Villa game. Who are you, if you were a betting man, putting your money on?
Probably Villa.
Okay. Just
Yeah.
literally straight up like that. You didn't even hesitate. You literally just like
But
probably
no, they've
Villa.
just been. I think don't get me wrong, Palace were on a good run, but I just think Villa were just better. So I think that's just if I was a gambling man, that's where I would be. That's
And
where
do
I'd
you
be
think it's
going.
going to be? Is it going to be a semi-final? It's going to be settled in 90 minutes, or are we talking extra time? We're going penalties. What do you reckon? Because
Yeah, I think
semi-finals
90
are
minutes.
always nervy games, man. And these two are both teams that like are desperate to win some silverware. Their fans would be absolutely dying for it. It would be amazing for them. Like I said, it's a
Yeah.
big day out for them. So,
I think
how do
maybe
you think the game's going to be
maybe
settled?
just that those like Villa have had the I'd say I would call it an advantage of having some big European nights already
Yeah,
this season. So I feel like not that the FA Cup won't be humongous for them, of course, but they won't. I feel like they wouldn't be as taken by the moment as some Palace players might be who have never done that before or haven't ever played in a
yeah,
what is seen as a universally is a big game, should we say?
yeah.
Um,
What's the FA Cup semi?
like the Champions League or Cup semi-finals and things like that. So I think it definitely goes in their favour that all those players have played against really good European teams and
Yeah,
come away with wins and beating them as well. So yeah, I just think Villa are just overall a
yeah.
better team
So
than it.
you're saying that they can handle you reckon that they've got players that can handle the big occasion better than Palace have, basically.
Yeah, for sure. But
Yeah,
purely off this season alone, like just the
yeah.
experience
And
they've
then you
had
got
this season.
Glasner, who's taken. Well, he's won it. He won the Europa League with Frankfurt, and that was quite a surprise.
Did
Them and
Tielemans
that
win
whole
the
European
FA
journey
Cup
as well.
with Leicester?
Pardon, sorry.
Tielemans, did he win it with Leicester?
Yeah, he did win it with Leicester. Yeah.
He might have even scored the goal actually that won them it.
I'm pretty sure he did, but we didn't check that. So you can't even you
No,
can't get onto me for that and not knowing my business.
or me,
Obviously, I messed
or
up
me.
earlier, but this one, yeah, I don't really know. But Tielemans, yeah, he definitely did win it. We can 100% say
Yeah,
that.
so yeah, things like that. Just that things like that. Rashford's won it.
Yeah,
Asensio has been in huge games.
yeah.
They've just got loads of players. They've just played in massive.
Morgan Rogers is young, but I think he's won the youth. Imagine
Yeah,
if he wins it
it's
as
not the
a,
same thing.
that would be pretty sick for him, to be fair. Like winning the youth cup and then winning it as a full professional, that would actually be quite sick.
Yeah.
You got Luca Digne. Well, he's a French. Did he? But he, don't know, he wasn't in that. He's had caps, but yeah, but he's played on the big stage.
Mm-hmm.
International. Pau Torres. He's Spanish national. I don't know how many caps he's had. Amadou Onana, Belgium. Um, so yeah, they're just to name a few players that
Yeah.
I can just come and see him, and they're all players that like we were saying have played in the big or on the big occasion. So you're saying them. Let's go to Sunday's semi-final.
Yeah.
Your neighbours, Manchester City against Forest.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you think on that one?
You probably would. You do have to sort of favour City, I guess. Again,
You still, yeah.
for
Just like even
similar.
like obviously form and all that kind of stuff, like the way you've seen both teams
Yeah,
play this
but I
season.
still
Like
just
it's a
think like
semi-final.
they're again well, the same reasons I just gave. Really, like the experience of this level of a fixture in that
Yeah,
squad is ridiculous. How many players have you like? They've got so many players that have played this exact fixture, an FA Cup
yeah,
semi-final, and then played the final and gone on to win it. Have won Champions
mm,
League, Premier Leagues. You just think like I say, league form kind of gets paused for a moment when you play in cups, doesn't it, and things like that. So
yeah.
I think they'll just be too good, and they're sort of
Okay.
finding themselves again a little bit. So yeah, I think
Did
they'll
you
just
say
be
sorry? How Villa were going to win it? Did you say in 90 minutes, extra
in
time or
90
pens?
minutes. Yeah, in 90
90
minutes.
minutes. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
And so on this one, you're saying City.
City.
And what's
I
the
could see it being City across 120 minutes or something like that. Like
okay? So you're going
not penalties
City
though.
extra time. They're going to
Yeah,
be pushed. You got to remember
I
it's a
think they'll
big
be
pitch as
because
well.
also what
So
Forest is so good without the ball. So
yeah,
and they're playing against like it's not the perfect opposition for them. I wouldn't say that, but
yeah,
it's they're not gonna their game plan isn't gonna change at all because of City, if
It's
that makes
not.
sense.
But then
Whereas
their game plan, are you not also thinking their game plan could be even more effective? That counter attack,
no, it could
Forest,
potentially,
bang, if they hit them on that
but
counter, those wingers, whew,
it's not
and that
like
big
I don't know.
pitch.
City, it's not like City's defenders are a joke. Like they're pretty good players. So I
Yeah,
I know.
it
Like
could
I
be.
said,
It could
I
be a
just
great
think
game. It could just be a great
I
semi-final.
would don't get me wrong. I would fucking love it if Forest go through. I would be 100% rooting for Forest for the
Yeah,
entire game. But I just think City are going to have too much in the end
yeah.
for it. Yeah,
Okay. Do you know what I think? Everyone in their hearts want it to be Forest. They want Forest to be in the final. Well, I say everyone, like with
the
the real
neutrals.
the neutrals. Yeah. It's it's gonna be a very tough game. I think. I don't think it's not going to be like someone's going to win by 2 or 3 goals or anything like that. It's not going to be a spanking. I don't think that's not what we've seen from Forest really this season.
No,
But they've actually no. I'm talking crap. They have actually been spanked this season. They've been spanked this season, but I just don't see it. Like their fans and all of that as well at Wembley. They're a big club. Like it's going to be. I think that's going to be a really good game. But I don't see it being high scoring. That's the only thing. It's going to be
I
like
agree.
that. But yeah, it's going to be like let's see. You know what? I'm calling it City penalties. That's the way I'm going to
Penalties,
call it.
okay.
Yeah, I'm going to say
Interesting.
City penalties. That's how I'm calling it, bro. Talking about cup competitions, we're going to go on to the European Champions League. Who, Jimmy, is your winner? And actually, before I get your answer on that, did you watch the previous leg? And how impressed were you with the teams that are now in the semi-finals?
Yeah, so I have to say I did think Arsenal in particular, I think like a lot of people, certainly not non-Arsenal fans, I
Yeah.
presumed that was going to be where you guys went out. And yeah,
Like,
you didn't, not only did you not, you like pretty dominated them as well. It was a pretty piss poor showing
I couldn't believe it. I honestly couldn't believe what
from
I was watching.
yeah, and that like, I don't want to take any credit away, but I think what we're going to
From
find out in the next round
sensational
is
performances, yeah.
it was sensational performance, but I think as what we'll see in the semis, I think if for example, I think if Arsenal get through the set, I think they will win the whole thing. I think I'll be shocked if they don't win the final if they get
Yeah.
through the semis because that was kind of the thing, and it's easy to do afterwards, but you did sort of see a lot of people criticise after the fact. I didn't hear much of it beforehand, to be fair, but people
Mm.
criticising this current Real Madrid and how they play, and it's a bit
Yeah.
they look like they don't have much identity. But I don't know. I think they're still doing pretty well. They were doing pretty well across all competitions.
Yeah.
So it's not like they're having that off of the season. But yeah, those Declan Rice free
Or are
kicks were
people doing that because it's
fucking
Arsenal,
ridiculous. No, exactly. Yeah, I think maybe a little bit. And that is because you do have not you specifically, but you do have quite an annoying fan base. So it's
A fan base, unbearable
people
fan base,
people
as
just fight back and they're
people
like,
like
oh,
to
it's not
say.
no this. You're acting like it's not the Galacticos you just beat or whatever. Like but it is still Real Madrid. Like at the same
Yeah, and
time.
they still have world-class players. Like their 11 is
Yeah, still
ridiculous.
ridiculous players. So it's not. It shouldn't be
Like
like
ask any
downplayed too
Arsenal
much.
fan, they were probably crapping themselves before that first leg even took place. Like, oh
For
my
sure.
days. And then we did what we did in that first leg, and then that's
I
probably when
thought you
they
guys
grew
would.
balls. A lot of them, like, okay,
Yeah, if you'd
look what we just did.
I honestly thought Arsenal were going to lose both legs. That was my. I thought you would maybe lose. Like obviously have a pretty close game at the Emirates, and
Yeah,
then I thought, yeah, you might lose by like a couple of goals at the Bernabeu, but nah, like it just wasn't the case at all. My favourites do still look like PSG. I do think they look like the best team in the competition at the
quality, man,
moment.
absolute quality.
But again, yeah, it's now that we're at the business end. Let's see. I think we'll see how they get
This
on.
is it.
Obviously, in
The
the
business end, exactly what you said.
yeah,
I can't believe that Vitinha was at Wolves and
I know.
he was not deemed a good enough player at the time to be getting in or playing in that Wolves squad. Like this is
It's
what
mental, isn't it?
football is this is why we say football is a mad game, and the way players' careers can change like that is
Yeah.
mad. Because look at what he's doing now at PSG, and he's just bossing it in that midfield with Fabian Ruiz in there, and then I think Neves, the Portuguese kid, and he's not even 20 yet, is he? Like it's actually a joke. Like the way that they've controlled teams in the Champions League and even in obviously their own domestic league this season is pretty fucking impressive. Well, he's 20. Sorry, he's 20 now. He's going to be 21 in 27th of September. So anyway, that's still quite frightening. Barcelona again? Obviously, everyone's going to talk about Barcelona being like up there as well because it's just Barcelona, European pedigree, Hansi Flick, the football that they're playing, Rafinha, Lewandowski, Lamine Yamal. You're saying all these names, and you say these names, and you're just like, how can you not like consider them as favourites as well?
Yeah,
it's not. And then Inter Milan are probably like they're definitely the dark horses because I don't think anyone's considering them favourites. But remember the days when Italian clubs were the dark horses. They were defensive masterclass, and they had players that could go the other way. And do you know what I mean? So, I'm not saying that Inter that kind of team now, but let's not forget about Inter. Is kind of what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, no, I agree, and I could easily see any four of the remaining four teams winning it, like for sure. It generally could be. I wouldn't be shocked by any of them winning it, and it'd be. I think it's quite nice. It's teams that haven't either have never won it or haven't won it for a while, so it's kind of cool that at least there'll be someone.
Everyone hungrier as well, so you're thinking it should be better. It should be better football as neutrals as well for you guys to watch. But then it might also have the opposite effect of them just going into their shells and then it being a real shit game of football, both legs, and then penalties or something like that. So let's hope it's not that either.
Yeah.
Let's hope it's not that either. But yeah, sorry, who you didn't really did you give me a winner? Did you give me a winner?
PSG.
Too tough to call. You're saying PSG, yeah?
Yeah, I'm going to back PSG. They're, from what I have seen, they're the ones that
you said they're impressive. Yeah, you did.
The best. Yeah, they look so good, and again they've got the advantage. They've wrapped up the league. I think maybe even already. So
they've wrapped it up.
You can rest so many players now.
But they're going for that unbeaten run though. So I think they drew over the weekend. Let me have a quick.
But we all know the Champions League's more important. If they thought they were at risk of a player being injured or tired, they've got the advantage at least. Like, you can just rest them. Yeah, it's great to go undefeated, but every fan of theirs will take the Champions League over an undefeated league season for sure.
Who is your bum of the week, Jimmy, in terms of managerial performance in the last 7 days?
So I am still going to give it to some people might think it's harsh, but I am still giving it to Amarin this week. Just because whilst it was a great moment, the comeback against Lyon, we shouldn't really have been in the position where one was required, going 2 goals up. We looked like we were out of ideas for large parts of it, and we got it done in a very dramatic fashion, but it wasn't a good performance by any stretch. Aside from just showing a lot of grit and determination. And then we lost the following game. So, I know, I don't know. I do what I will, I do sympathise with. He's only been able to bring in one of his own players, and everything else has been left for him. And there is so much fucking shit in that squad, so much shit. And it is quite funny as well. Like you're seeing, and I'm actually really glad to see it. And I'm whilst he's not obviously what he once was, but Casemiro, for example, has been playing a hell of a lot better in the last month or so under Amarin than what he did at all in the last year under Ten Hag. So, which is good because people were talking about him I don't know, they're the famous soundbite from Carragher. But it's I do get annoyed with pundits sometimes when I'm like, you're talking about a player who accomplished. If you took 10% of Casemiro's career, it was more fucking successful than all of Carragher's. You know, like you're talking about a guy who's won 5 Champions Leagues. Are you
yeah,
fucking? Are you? What are we fucking talking about here?
yeah,
So do you know what I mean? I do think the disrespect telling a player like that, like because he's in a bit of a shit run of form, like he should retire,
yeah.
is crazy. Is crazy when you were like almost never considered a starter
Yeah,
in your entire
that's
career.
that's character for you, though, man.
No,
Clout,
it
innit?
is. They've all become like that. They've all even you see even
Clout,
Roy
man.
Keane's become like it now, where it's that they're becoming just fucking soundbite clickbait merchant twats,
Yeah,
and
that's what it is. Because
it's
that's what gets
pathetic.
the views. That's what
It's
they want to
so.
see. That's what they want to
I
hear.
said it. I saw where this was going. I called it years ago, and I said, "Fuck punditry. Get rid of it. The TV show should start 30 seconds before the game starts."
Oh yeah, to be fair, you've never been a fan of.
I
I
saw where
remember
it was
when we used
heading,
to,
mate. I
even
saw
when we
where it
used to
was
chill
headed.
together, and I'd be like, yeah, I want to
After
watch the starting.
now,
To
don't
be
get me
fair though,
wrong.
I don't really I don't watch that like the build up that much anymore. To be fair.
No, fine, but it's not even just the build up; it's the afterwards. Like they get themselves so wound up and like annoyed, and they start the way they do it. And it's like, you know, I'm not saying he should have kept his job, but like their jobs. Richard Keys, Andy Gray is the where it peaked. Okay, that was actual like
Yeah, that was.
intelligent breaking down of what we were seeing. Now it's like they just argue about what was going on in the player's head half the time. It's all just
Yeah.
conjecture. Like nothing you will ever be able to prove or know for sure. It will just
Do you
be,
know what?
oh, I think
I
he's
hear
a
what
bit
you're
of a
saying, you
baby,
know.
or he needs to toughen up, or he needs to be more mature. It's like, well, these are all just it's all just arbitrary. You know how mature a person is or isn't is just subjective. So it's like whereas I kind of want more factual based information. So I've said for a long time, fuck pundits. I'll continue to say fuck pundits. If you're someone that's out there and you think Mika Richards is entertaining, you're a fucking loser and you're a fuckhead. You're an absolute fuckhead if you think Mika Richards is entertaining, and you deserve to watch the shit. You deserve to have YouTubers commentating on games or whatever the hell is going on with Sky Sports. You have created all of it. You've created all of it. So enjoy it. Enjoy it.
Oh,
You
flipping
know?
fair play.
Fucking Mika
Fair.
Richards, man. He's a fucking absolute idiot. I don't understand why he gets
Ooh, ooh.
the the limelight. I don't get it. Don't get it. It was
I've seen
one
him
of
at
the most
Bundesliga. To be fair,
disappointing
he's
in
a
terms
dedicated
of
gaffer on the
players'
sideline.
potential and hype from when they made their debut to where it ended up. One of the most disappointing players I can ever think of is Mika Richards. Like
Oh,
he's in, we're talking about a guy who's like in the same breath as me as like Ravel Morrison types, like all what looked like all the talent in the world, and then
yeah,
didn't.
he should have gone on to be more than what he was, because obviously the hype around him was crazy and stuff. But then I
Yeah,
think he's like before, I don't know. He's kind of like, I get what you're saying in terms of like the way that he is in the media. He's like trying to, like, he's that funny guy, that funny likable guy. I don't know whether, like, I don't fully know whether that's him. I don't know what he's like off camera. Do you know what I mean? But like the way you see him, it does seem like it could be. That's the way that they're trying to push him, and that the character they want him to portray, that that
yeah.
likable, funny, black character, and he gets all that likes, and he's got a fucking contagious laugh and all that kind of stuff. But that might be him. That literally might be. And if that is him, then fair play. But like again, you've mentioned it, and people are probably gonna. There's probably gonna be people that think the same. There probably is people that think the same.
Probably, probably, yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, we've gone way off.
Yeah, we did. We
With
did.
that, well, look where the hatred for Mika got you. Let's bring you back in. Let's bring you back in anyway. Talking of the bum of the week in terms of the manager, I was thinking about it. Glasner, mate. He's drawn his last 2 games for Palace. You're hoping he's going to be trying to build some momentum for the cup semi-final, but then maybe he's, saving or wanting his players to save themselves to then perform for the cup semi-final. So it'd be disappointing if they then go on and get spanked by Villa, by the way, in the cup semi-final. So I was thinking about Glasner, but we've spoken about Ange plenty of times on here, and he scraped it through against Frankfurt. Well done. Still in contention to potentially win a trophy in his second season. Again, well done. But then on Monday night, at home to Nottingham Forest, when Forest obviously are chasing
Champions
Champions
League.
League. you're just I don't really know what you're doing right now. If I'm being completely honest, in the Premier League, are you competing? Are you just making up the numbers week in week out? I mean, there's 18 Jimmy, 18 defeats.
Yeah, that's
Like
rough.
that is that. Do you know how mad that is? 18 defeats, four draws, 11 wins. For
Yeah.
Tottenham Hotspur Football Club, and they're sitting in 16th place. Only beneath them are West Ham, Ipswich, Leicester, and Southampton.
Yeah, it's crazy. It is
That,
crazy.
my friends, is crazy.
Yeah.
So even though he won that European game, but then this in the Premier League, I just think that amount of numbers for a manager to lose in a season, one, and two, to be with a club of that size, even though they are our rivals, is absolutely mad.
Agreed.
Like anyone else, I'm pretty sure anyone else would be sacked. Maybe the compensation would be too hefty, or maybe going to wait till the end of the season, or maybe wait till the Europa finishes if he crashes out before the final. I really don't know, but there's no way. I feel even with all of the injuries, come on, that's way too many games.
No, for sure. And like, yes, they have had a lot of injuries, but like I do always say this: every single team gets injuries every season. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, yes, they do vary, but you could make the argument. I'm sure if you go back and look at seasons that Tottenham had that were really good, is probably they didn't have as many severe injuries that year, and I bet the teams around them did. So it always kind of goes that way. Like that's always going to be, somewhat of the story.
merry-go-round of the Premier League and injuries.
It's just how it is. So I don't know. Whilst yes, there is a certain level of sympathy you can, or you hold off your criticism a little bit in those situations, but it doesn't mean you're exempt from it whatsoever. Especially as I say, you talk all that shit about, like, you're basically guaranteeing the fans that you're going to win a trophy because you've always done it, even though you've never done it at this level. And then he's constantly arguing with the fans, or like there was I don't think we didn't even speak. I think it happened after we last did an episode together when he had like cupped the fucking ear to the fans to proper just mugging them off, man. It's so fucking. I've never seen a manager behave the way he does. In terms of like it's like you could argue maybe prime Mourinho, but there was also
Mourinho was a winner. Mourinho
that's
won.
what I mean. There was
serial winner.
The fucking winning non-stop, like to that.
The way he used to disrespect Arsene Wenger, I remember that. I was like, this guy,
mate, he used to bully Wenger.
I said, this guy really doesn't give a shit. No one, like, people would beef with Wenger on the sideline and that, but like the way he took it to another level, the way he used to speak about him,
Wenger just always felt like such an easy guy to like bully, though. Do you know what I mean? He's just like a little French pussy. It's just like of course I'm going to bully you. Of course I am.
But no one did apart from Mourinho. Mourinho was the only one that
Fergie did as well. Fergie used to play.
Yeah, him and Fergie never liked each other really.
I think they respected each other, but it was just you're trying to, like, unfortunately for Wenger, I think Wenger was pretty good at mind games, but he came up against the best at it, and it was just like he was he wasn't like good, but he was very subtle with how he did his mind games, should I say? So anyway, we've gone on a tangent again, but Bum of the Week. I think red hot favourite for Bum of the season, surely, because if he wins a trophy,
we'll have an award. The last episode will be the awards.
Yeah, we should do the end of season
awards and then that will be like kind of we'll basically get that created, mate. Don't worry, we'll get our minds together and we'll get the nominees, and then I think between us we'll have to come to a decision about who takes that award.
Yeah. Interesting. Or we can do.
The good thing is this is going to be out there now, so
Yeah, you should do polls. You should just poll the audience for each category, and just let it be.
Do I get enough interaction for that though?
Well, it's better. It's going to be more than us two coming up with shit.
Yeah, true. So, to be fair, there's someone that dropped a comment in one of the the videos earlier. Well, it was late last week, and he was like, "Bro, forgot the YouTube password," or "Bro, forgot the password." And I was cracking up, and I was like, "Yo, no, we're back next week, man. Don't worry, we're back next week."
Oh, that's good though.
That was good. That was jokes, though. To be fair, I was like, you know what, fair play. But while we're still on the managers, before I jump off the managers onto the last topic, which is a real random one, the managers. It was like I sent you that thing, and I was like, "Feel old yet?" And I sent you like a list of like managers that we grew up watching as players. But I did see this one in particular. We got Ramsey against Wilshere, former teammates in Championship. That's the last game of the season. Wilshere's now at Norwich, interim manager, and Cardiff have got Ramsey in charge. Before that game, though, Aaron Ramsey is up against. Remember James Morrison, who played for West Brom? Yeah, he's now interim manager at West Brom. So,
wow,
literally, feel old yet?
yeah, that was pretty rough. Seeing all those guys that were like playing when we were sort of finishing school, and now, and like, when I say finishing, they were like starting their careers when they were only a couple of years older than us.
Yeah.
They were starting their careers, and I don't know. And then just seeing that, they've all they went from starting their careers, have played all of it and finished it, and are now like good enough coaches to be coaching the first teams. It's like, oh fuck me,
it's mad, isn't it?
That's rough. That's rough. Yeah, I don't like that.
But yeah, those matches are going to be interesting there. But that was the end to the managerial talk. Let's go on to the last point. This will be up on the screen when you are watching it this week. But I had to send this to Jimmy. I was like, I've got to get this in because this is one of the maddest ends to a season that I have seen. This is the Vanarama South. And in terms of the teams, we have Truro that are in first, Torquay in second, Eastbourne in third, Worthing in fourth, Bournemouth in fifth, and Dorking in sixth. Probably wondering why we're talking about this on the Topcinco pod. Sixth place Dorking on 83 points. Top place Truro are on 86 points. It is literally all to play for in the last game of the season. So I sent this to Jimmy. I was like, mate, this is fucking mad. We got to talk about this. Like, well, what did you say to me, mate?
I can't remember. I was like, what the fuck, or something like that. Something along those lines. Yeah, outrageous. That's what low league football is all about, isn't it? Just absolute fucking mayhem on the last day.
And as Patrice says, we love this game.
Exactly.
It's going to be an interesting one. I don't really know. I haven't watched much or any of these teams actually. I used to watch Dorking, their little YouTube series. He's an absolute legend, the gaffer, a character. Dorking Wanderers there. Torquay, I remember playing against them as a youth team player at Oxford, mate. That was a long away game, mate. A couple of players were injured start of the week for that one. Fancy the journey. Bournemouth, got good old Ty Marsh that used to play at Oxford actually, who is there. So that would be sick if he actually manages to go up with them. But you can't call it. But I just think it's amazing. So I'll go through it again. So Truro, top on 86. Torquay, second on 86. Eastbourne, third on 85. Worthing, fourth on 85. Bournemouth, fifth on 83. And Dorking, sixth on 83. Absolutely mental. Absolutely mental. We have come to an end of the episode, though. So thank you very much for watching. If you have gotten this far, big love. You have been missed. It has been missed. And we will be back again for another episode. Jimmy, thank you very much for joining. Happy birthday again. Thanks, brother. Big love.